Everybody, welcome to Uncanny Alley, a place where we gather to keep it real because shit's weird out there. I'm gonna get right into it because whoo, spirit just is like, come on, like the messages are coming. Okay, so this is a little thirsty Thursday spiritual soul quenching message, and that's what I tapped into. That's kind of what I wanted to really get into. I felt like there was this big uh a lot of ancestors, like, but I'm talking like ancient ancestors that wanted to come through. I have this amazing Anubis oracle, and I've had it off to the side for days now, and I knew that spirit would lead me on when to use it. This is I really, whoops, I really revere this deck. I just find it really, I find the sacred ancient Egyptian text to be this, this, this kind of, this secret knowledge that you only get through and you only get to when they say so. That's it. When the gods have opened the doors for you. And it's just this profoundly ancient and powerful magic um, and energy that comes through. It's really special. So anyway, the first thing I want to just jump into it before I lose everything was ready, steady, go. This is no time to pump the brakes. Okay. I'm seeing a big, oh, thank you. Okay, my left eye again. Okay, thank you. This is about, again, that quenching, right, spiritual thirst and somebody on that journey, but that is for a lot of you in tandem with a physical aspect, a physical journey. For some of you it's a job, for some of you it's an adventure, like a physical, like you want to go, explore Yemen, South America, um, Israel. I keep being drawn to like the deserts, okay? Because what I was going to say is I see like a big dune buggy going through like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, just and wherever it is, it's this sacred quest, and it's either literally sacred because you're going on a spiritual quest, literally, or it's sacred in where it's in perfect alignment with your soul's purpose, with your divine purpose, with your greatest good. Um, with everything you're working so hard to get in alignment with. So that's kind of where we're at. This is a big message with ancestors. Now with this deck, again, I haven't used it, but I've had it off to the side, and I knew there'd be the time and spirit would reveal to me when. Oh my gosh, my eyes are so blurry. Thank you. Could be because spirit's like, girl, I keep saying left eye, left eye. So my eye keeps getting blurry, and it's my left eye, and then instantly, because who doesn't go to left eye? Lisa Left Eye Lopez when you say left eye, if you were born, I'm not gonna say I was, I'm gonna say I was born in 81, but I'm not gonna say I wasn't. But anyway, anywho, let's continue on. So Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and instantly it was don't go chasing waterfalls, please. And then again, it was this quest, and you seeking the waterfalls right for you. And what I'm seeing is that so many of you out there that I'm talking to, you've been chasing waterfalls. You've been on the spiritual quest. Your heart's been in it for all the right reasons. You've been going after this, and you feel really defeated. Thank you, Holy Spirit, just redirected me. You feel like, okay, maybe, thank you, Holy Spirit. Okay. You feel like you've always grown up with gifts. You've always felt a connection to God. But lately, you feel like, well, maybe it's just not there the way I thought it was. Maybe I'm not as gifted or I'm not as connected. And that is not it at all. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time on that because it's just like that's what they want. Is like, this is no time to pump the brakes. This is no time to dwell on that kind of negativity. It's time to get moving. It's time to rev it up, turn the tides. So as I have this deck, and something told me to like lean back, and this was on the floor. Guys and dolls, okay. When I tell you that I've been around here, you see how much I fidget and fuss. Like, this card wasn't on the floor, but that's like the least strange thing that happens in my world when spirit tries to break through. And I'm sure in yours, because you're just as magical. You're just as 423 was just on the clock, and spirit said, wait, don't go over that. So I'm gonna see if you. So 423. Wait, I'm sorry. 423. 423. Like if you were on a journey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. So think of it that way. Some of you are feeling like I take 2 steps forward to take 2 steps back, or I take 1 step forward to take 2 steps back. But look, 4, 2, you fell, and now you're back on the right path. Okay, you're chasing the right, the right waterfall. The writings on the wall. The writings on the wall. And look, at this card is Khonsu that came up. The other day when I tapped into spirit and I tapped into, it's my video. Oh gosh, I will put it in the comments. I was channeling a message. I started crying. Like, it came through so strong. And it, even when I think about it, I hate to say it's almost like, not embarrassing, but almost the way it feels vulnerable. It makes me feel vulnerable. Not embarrassed. Thank you for correcting me. But vulnerable, because it's almost like when an artist writes a story about themselves, right? Even though they want to share it with the world, there's a vulnerability that you're willing to share. And so I'm willing to share it. It just does, because it makes me feel very vulnerable how deep I went, and how I was truly channeling. Like, one of the things was 9 times 2 is 18. I didn't even know until I rewatched it. I'm like, whoa, I just felt a little like, ooh. But thank you guys for who've watched it, Sirens, and you've accepted me for just how I connect with Source and how we all are different. So this is Khonsu, and it's the card 18, okay? And, as much as I love this deck, shamefully, I don't even know. Um, I feel like I haven't. I'm not supposed to study it. I feel, not shamefully. Thank you. See, there's so much like shame and self doubt, and that's really coming through in this, even for me. Um, it's see, look at I'm fidgeting with the light because I'm like, oh, the lighting's weird. It looks this way. There's a lot of that second guessing, like what you're doing, the path that you're on. Like you feel like you're getting consumed with life. Oh, the lighting just totally fixed. Okay. And that's what Spirit's saying. You are on the right path. I have guided you. You took a misstep, but that was all part of the divine plan. Okay. Oh my God. Stop it. You guys. Okay. So it's Khonsu. The card means divine timing, blood mysteries, ancient mysteries. You guys, come on. Okay. I'm going to read this. Khonsu is a lunar god who appears with as many faces as the phases of the moon. Like the moon, he controls the tides and influences the weather. He's closely linked with Thoth, and like Thoth is seen as both the ibis and the baboon. And I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing these incorrectly. Known as the Wanderer, he's a protector of travelers and a measurer of time. So there's two things I want to touch on. I just did a reading too. I don't know if I posted it because I had so many electrical issues, and I was speaking about electrical issues when I was hanging up an Egyptian banner in my home, in my hallway with 2 lights. And it's an Egyptian banner, and I thought, food for Thoth. As I did that and I put my arm this way, my light on the right side blew out. A dark figure shot across my ceiling as fast as it possibly could. My dog was not scared, but my dog, my little miserable bitch, who has a problem with everything, went and just followed it. Wasn't scared, but it was like, oh, instantly knew it wasn't a threat, but it was like this powerful. And sometimes powerful energy can show up as darkness, like as what's the word? Aggression is different than wrath. Okay. There is appropriate aggression, like male aggression, get aggressive when objection, Your Honor. You shouldn't be like, objection, Your Honor, right? That's an aggressive energy when you're kind of like with this furious energy. Or David and Goliath, right? David had to be aggressive when he shot that little tiny pebble that would be strong enough with yielding the power of God to slay a giant, right? There has to be some aggression, not all the time, but sometimes. Jesus, like I said before, flipped over a table or two. Joan of Arc yielded a sword. So, anyway, let me get back on track. I'm so sorry, guys. Like I said, I am autistic. Like, not, oh, I'm autistic. It's a cute, fun thing girls say. No, I'm diagnosed an autistic person, and I don't say it like diagnosed. I mean, like it's part of who I am, and it took me a long time to accept that is part of my colorful makeup, and I would not be as tapped in if September 29th, something about September 29th for somebody, or not 9/11. 9 and then 9 plus 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. Some of you were affected by 9/11 in one way or the other, or you are Muslim, you've been affected by stereotypes of one way or the other in that kind of degree, these racial stereotypes by a big movement. Maybe it's been, for some of you, political stereotypes by what's going on. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So some of you, it's literal. Some of you, it's just to direct me to say that you've been affected by this and it's really shaken you because it's made you question who you are and you didn't know. Like, thank you, Holy Spirit. Like, I didn't know that being autistic, I wasn't diagnosed for a very long time. And so I just managed around this and I thought it was a deficit. So I always made excuses for me. I have apologized for myself more times than I can count. You guys will hear me self deprecate. It's endearing to me the way I love the cable guy. He's a hapless idiot, right? Jim Carrey's so fucking talented in that. It's sick. You mean you need to go cable? Like, don't even come for me, okay? I don't even like comedies like that, but if it's good, it's fucking good. Like, that shit has me rolling all the time. I can quote every bit of that movie. Ooh, whoa, ooh, whoa. Sorry. I'm goofy. Yeah, like, that's who I am. And I laugh at it, like, oh, because now I embrace it, right? I embrace the goofy, I embrace the quirky, I embrace that part of me. And that's what spirit is leading you towards, is that these endeavors, these 11:11 on the clock, you guys, come on. These things that you look at is like, oh my God, they didn't accept me, or this fell through, or I went through that harrowing journey, or people look at me this way, no matter what I do, no matter how I fucking show up. That's what I'm hearing. No matter how I show up, don't go chasing waterfalls because these were not for you. Please stick for the rivers and the lakes, not that you're used to, but that are for you. Okay, let me continue. So divine timing, blood mysteries. Okay, so closely linked with Thoth, and like Thoth is seen as both the abyss and the baboon. And oh my gosh, my reading the other day where I was scrying, and I don't think I posted that one yet because of all the technical issues, but I'm going to get it up, man. Going to. These negative energies, they got nothing on us, okay? I was talking about this penguin's transformation, or this owl's transformation into a penguin, but then there was like a monkey on its back, and I didn't understand why, and it wasn't in a bad reference. It wasn't in a bad reference. It felt in a very good reference, and this makes sense now, okay? This is for you. Known as the Wanderer, he's a protector of travelers and a measure of time. Khonsu brings his... I'm gonna cry. Khonsu brings spiritual nourishment to our bodies and souls. He knows the exact timing in which we are ready to receive communion and eat the flesh of the gods. You guys are so loved. I need to get my fucking life together and stop being such a fucking crybaby. This is when, like, Sekhmet comes in and she's like, get your act together. Like, she comes in like the pig sister, like the bee that stings me. But, like, doesn't cause an allergic reaction, but, like, annoys me to remind me, like, I know. But then, so sorry, comes through with so much wisdom and time and understanding and patience because he can manipulate time. And these are like downloads. Like, these are not things that you guys, you are so loved for it to come through like that. Like, something came over me about spiritual Thirsty Thursdays and spiritual soul nourishment. Like, divine timing for you guys is so profound right now. This is like beautiful tears, okay? Beautiful, beautiful, blissful tears about how loved you are, how much your ancestors loved you, how in your darkest times you are so connected to Source because your heart is in the right place, I'm hearing, and God always knows that. Okay, let's continue. Whew. Get your life together, bitch. Okay, eat the flesh of the gods, so that we may become as one of them. Khonsu works on our behalf to fertilize our minds. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because there was something about a homestead that came through for this message, and I totally forgot. Thank you for bringing me back. Khonsu, I can't even see because of my tears, little baby. On our behalf to fertilize our minds and hearts with the seeds of our own divinity. How wonderful you are. He engages the power of the moon to bring forth, the number 4 is important. I know it's a different 4, but the healing rains. Don't go chasing waterfalls that are not for you. He comes forward to bring forth the healing rains that cleanse our old belief systems. You can't make this shit up, you guys. Our old belief systems, the ways that people, the world, the outside world have taught us to believe, or not, indoctrinated us into thinking about ourselves, or thought that, well, if this part of me feels this way, but the world has told me that this is who I am as a whole, then that must be who I am, and that means I'm separate from God, and that means God doesn't know. No, no, no. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Okay, something about jumping the gun. And I heard that last time too, because I already was on this page and it was like stuck here. And it's like, no. Oh my God. That's why. You guys are not even gonna. Okay, I'm gonna have to, I'll put that into a second reading. This is wild. Okay, second download, but I already know, tap into that. I have to finish on here for you guys. Okay, the healing rains that cleanse our old belief systems, and he renews our DNA at a cellular level. Some of you guys, again, like I said, it's a spiritual, but it's coming through in a physical way. Like, for some of you guys, it's something that the Lord is blessing, that Spirit is bringing forth, planting the seeds, or helping you cultivate with seeds that you planted, and manifesting your dreams, your heart's desire in the tangible in this world here. Okay? He governs the tides of the oceans and human emotions. Well, can you steer the ship a little better, please? I'm just kidding. That is all me. That is all you. I'm hearing. I know. I'm just kidding. If you have chosen this card, the time is now. Come on, guys. To move forward in some situation that you have been hesitant about. It's also a favorable time for travel. Again, I'm seeing this spiritual travel or this actual getaway. So for those of you who are planning a trick, don't let the devil trick you out of your blessings. Plan, okay? Plan this. Don't be tricked out of your blessings. If you are planning a trip, okay, for some of you, yeah, it's like I hearing luck of the Irish, like silly, like a little leprechaun. And this is the second time Ireland or something like that. Okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. It's not Ireland. It can be, but the reference is this. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Is green, wet lands. So it could be tropical. It could be those waterfalls with like the misty rainforest, like the Polynesian islands, Hawaiian islands. It could be Bermuda, like the Florida Keys. It could be anywhere in this. So it's that and or some desert landscape or sometimes both. Like you can go, there are a lot of island adventures or beautiful places out there in the world where during the day you could be dune buggying and then you're on like a sunset cruise, or you're snorkeling during the day and then you're having like dinner on the sandy beach kind of thing. But it's something about this travel that's a really big deal. A really big deal. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. So my left palm was itching ferociously. Somebody's coming into money, or if you're worried about money for this trip, don't. Okay, 18 and 18. Oh my gosh, 18 was just on the time clock. And like I was saying, 9 times 2 is 18 was coming through. This card Khonsu is 18. You guys, okay, 36 is significant. Somebody's 36 years old or the 9th cycle, 9 months pregnant. Something happened when you were 9 months pregnant. You're giving birth. Someone's about to give birth literally. Okay, somebody feels like it's over because of the kids. It's not, baby. I'm hearing it's not, baby. Oh my God, look at you. Come on. You are gorgeous inside and out. You are so capable. You'll get your body back and like body schmoddy, body yaddy yaddy. I'm hearing, oh my God. So body schmoddy, like don't worry, and then body yaddy yaddy, like you don't hold yourself up to an old ideal. You're so gorgeous. Your mom bod is gorgeous, and whoever's for you is gonna love that or does love that. Like that's okay. For some of you, you're in a relationship and you've been really self-conscious lately about your mom bod. Your partner loves it. Loves all of yes. Phone's ringing. See, that's confirmation. Because you can ring my bell. Ring my bell. You ring your partner's bell, baby. And for those of you who aren't with somebody, like coming into your confidence like this, it's going to ring their bell and draw what's for you. Okay, sorry, let me finish this up. Okay, Khonsu is a great healer, said to be able to exorcise demons. He does this by honoring, feasting, and celebrating the diseases and they go away happy. How interesting, because the Sekhmet energy really comes through a lot. And in my big transformation on this last shade, I call it cycle, I call it the shedding of the skin. Like the shedding of the snake skin is what I feel like my last transformation. And that was like that mama bear, that Sekhmet energy, where I stepped into my power. And even in a dark power in a way, that doesn't mean I'm like out there doing like voodoo. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's not like I was like, pin cushions and voodoo dolls. I'm saying that I was allowing myself to feel appropriate anger, appropriate conviction in a state of vengeance, not wrath. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I object, Your Honor, energy, right? Like if you're fighting for your kids, somebody, a spirit wants me to make this analogy because as a parent, of course, you would die for your kids, right? So the kind of conviction you have for your kids, you would walk through fire for them, and you would put someone through fire for them, right? You would do anything you had to. Hell hath no fury, like a mama bear scorned, I'm hearing. So for some of you, you need to understand that connection, like that kind of vengeance that you have, the way like that mama bear mode, like for my baby. Like what if you saw somebody, I'm not even going to put it out there, but you saw something bad happening in front of you, like a person, a stranger, right? And then your kid. Are you going to be like, stop? No, you're not meditating, okay? Hello. You can meditate 99% of the time. That could be your way for it. Peace is the way. But in that moment, I don't care if you're Gandhi. If you see somebody snatching up your baby, you are not going, okay? You're going to fucking act, physically act with a swiftness and the sword of vengeance, okay? So somebody needs to understand that stepping into that's okay, but and then there's a shift from that like kind of Sekhmet energy into something like this, where instead of Sekhmet, who devours the souls, is like, give me more blood, bitches, and leaves souls in agony, leaves those offenders, right? Like someone who, how dare you come after my child, right? There's a place for people who hurt children. There's just a special kind of darkness for somebody who goes after, anyway. And so, there's a different type of God appropriates vengeance differently for the punishment as it so, the punishment as it so fits the crime kind of energy. And sometimes that person does need to suffer for what they did. But then there's a different kind. There's the kind where, like Khonsu energy, where he feasts on the disease, the pain of the offender. And then we both walk away healed and happy. Whoa. It's kind of like you can divorce somebody, you can end a relationship, and it could be really bad, or it could be not so bad. They could both be equally as painful. They could take equally as long. You could lose equally as much physically or financially. But if you have a spiritual maturity and you understand that what's for you is for you, and even what's not for you, if it served its place and purpose, then it was for you at a time, and therefore you're thankful for it. And when you're thankful for it, you can pluck out all of the goodness that was in that shit cake and go, thank you, and leave all the garbage behind. And that's what God allows you to do. So he feasts. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Bring it back to eating, right? Because Khonsu feasts. And I don't even know any further than that because I stopped there and went off on a tangent as usual. But feasts on the disease. And so when you are healed and you are on your right spiritual path and somebody crosses you, wrongs you, hurts you, betrays you, wounds you, you're not patching it up. You're healing it. You're not covering it up. You're not making this work by tightening this and stretching. No, you are healing it. And it's actually better than it was before. 24 on the clock. And again, 12, 2. It's something about 2 years for somebody. Maybe it was like divorce that took 2 years. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. He does this by honoring, feasting, and celebrating the diseases, and they go away happy. Like we both. If you have chosen this card, the time is now to move forward in some situation that you've been hesitant about. It's also a favorable time for travel. Whatever movement is being called Whatever movement is being called for, you may want to harness the power of ritual. Create a communion ceremony. I talked about that before. In honor of the divine being that you are. Honor thyself. Okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. Like, just be quiet, Allison. No, you haven't. Just keep reading. Okay. Acknowledge the journey you have completed that has prepared you for the new phase you're entering. Hello, honor the journey. Honor. Because then you can pluck out the goodness and step into your new divine calling, your new purpose. Okay? You can do this spiritually or bring it into the physical. Come on. Bring it into the physical plane by setting up an altar with food that represents the body of earth and drink that represents the blood of the divine Neteru. If you are in need of healing, honor the source of your disease, injury, or situation. For the teaching it has brought you as you take in the holy sacraments. You cannot make this shit up. So that is the message for somebody. It is about, in this spiritual path, if you're at a crossroads and you're feeling like I can't go on, or this was all for naught, I have not made it. No, I'm not a divine healer. No, I'm not anointed. No, I'm not divine. No, I'm not set apart. That is the enemy. This is all part of it. It is like going on, thank you, Holy Spirit, showing me the desert, because it's like somebody walking through, like going like a hiker who is going out on a hike, and they know what the end point looks like, and the last couple of miles are smooth sailing, so easy, but very, very shortly in, like 2 or 3 miles in, this is a 7-mile hike. This is a 17-mile hike. Something happened when you guys were 17. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Here we go. Go with me. We're going somewhere. For some of you, something happened when you were 2 or 3 years old that your subconscious witnessed, or when your baby was 2 or 3 years old, that you feel scarred them, that they witnessed, that you have carried with you, that you've harbored either a guilt of, that you put your children through when they were this little, or that you don't realize it is a suppressed trauma attached to something that you went through, that you witnessed. Now, maybe you know about this, but you're not understanding that as healed as you are, there is this subconscious. It's not something you can tap into. You don't even necessarily need to know what that trauma was. So it's not about getting into some deep, ugly place. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. So if you want to, sure, if you want to tap into what that is, or if you know what it is and you feel like you need to go to counseling for a specific thing, that's fine too. But for some of you, it's just about understanding and acknowledging where that wound is coming from so that you can start placing the appropriate energy on the appropriate things and stop feeding, thank you, Holy Spirit, this negativity. Because that's, let Khonsu eat the disease. You stop eating it. Let Khonsu eat the disease, I'm hearing. So not feeding the negativity, eating the negativity. When you, oh, wow, when you go to that place and you fill your heart and your mind with the self-doubt that the enemy has put upon you, then you're not feeding the negativity. The negativity is now feeding you, and you are getting full on that, and there's no space for the spiritual nourishment that Khonsu has for you. Khonsu is really with some of you. Wow. 9 plus 2 is 18. 9 plus 2 is 18. Okay, let me get back to this. Thank you. Okay. So this journey, this happened when you were 2 or 3 years old. Then something happened when you were 17. Okay, so for some of you, I'm getting this feminine energy, and you don't have to be feminine, but it has to do with a sexual energy when you were 17. So maybe this is when you, for some of you, it used to be when you first, lost your virginity. For some of you, it's when you had your first relationship. For some of you, it's when something happened negative. It's when you learned something. Okay, some of you, it's just when you got pregnant. It doesn't have to be negative, okay? It was just big. Remember, tower moments are not always negative, okay? Okay? Raise your hand if when you had a baby, you went, hi, honey, let's set out to do this. That's beautiful and wonderful. It didn't happen for all of us that way, right? Sometimes it appears as a tower moment. Sometimes it appears as a tower moment for a second, a minute. But, oh boy, that tower just cracks open and turns into a lighthouse, a shining, glistening lighthouse that directs you right to your purpose, right to the whole of you, the sum of all your parts. Oh, it's such a beautiful energy, right? Okay, I'm seeing a bridge. Okay, let me get back to this. Sorry. Stay with me. So again, to this mountain, to this hill, something happened. It's either a suppressed memory or something that you know about, or something again that you feel guilty about for putting your children through when they were young. And spirit wants you to know, no, baby, you need to the second you again let go of that guilt, then you're going to step into this. And again, that 17, it's okay, because again, this thing that happened when you were 17, you took something and put it in your back pocket and you don't realize it, but because of the kind of person you are, who you are, how you were built, how you're made, okay? Don't forget it. I'm hearing who you are, not what. Ooh, it's the truth. Getting hiccups. When I get hiccups like this, it is like wild conviction. Like spirit wants to shake you. Spirit is spiritually shaking you right now. Because it's who you are. You are anointed. You are set apart, okay? And this thing that happened when you were 17, this was all part of it, baby. This was the tower that turned into a lighthouse for you. Even if it was a beautiful moment, it was your first love. And you think back on this relationship, and for some of you, maybe you have failed marriage, and you think back to that first love, you're like, why didn't it work out this way? Why didn't we turn out this way? You know, this ideal love, whatever that kind of feeling is. When it turns from long to appreciation, when it turns to, when you're looking at the spilled milk, when you stop looking at the spilled milk as spilled milk, the 5 of cups as the 2 cups that are spilled, or the 3 cups that are spilled, and you look at the ones remaining as my cup runneth over, then you won't even believe the waterfalls that spirit is leading you to quench your thirst. Oh my goodness, you guys. This was, for some of you, you're 31, 32, and between the time, or when you were 31, 32, and between the time you were 36, or 4-year span, something magical is happening or happened that you might not realize it, but because of who you are, again, you are anointed, you are set apart. The Lord used this. And okay, the Lord took this experience and you didn't know what went. Okay, we're just going to put that in your back pocket. I'm sorry, baby. Don't worry. We're going to put that in your back pocket. And now it's like, oh, what do we have here? That lesson, that karmic lesson for you because of who you are, baby, because you are the person who comes out on the other side, like who can dive through that waterfall and find like Atlantis underneath, okay? Because you're led by spirit and you know it. Because that's where you look. You look for the right treasures so God reveals them to you. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Oh my goodness, you guys, you're so loved. This was about just you're so loved. Remember that on the spiritual journey. Stick to it and take that adventure, take that leap. Your babies are your blessings. You already knew that, but okay, your babies are your blessings, but you are spirit's baby. You are a blessing. Don't forget that you're someone's baby. You are that baby to the Lord, and you always will be. And they are holding you. You will forever be held, is what I'm hearing. You will forever be my little baby. And I'm literally like, you are so loved. Your ancestors love you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful, loving energy, encapsulating. I mean, like encapsulating like a submarine. Like hold your breath. It's okay. You don't have to hold your breath anymore because spirit's got you. You're in a submarine and not one of those that's gonna like implode on itself. I just heard somebody, because somebody's like a wiseacre like me. Someone's like, yeah, submarine, great. Like that shit that just like people turn to sludge underwater. No, and I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to like make light of that. That's horrible and disastrous. I'm just saying like you have a dark sense of humor like me. No, bitch, it's not that one. It's the submarine that goes undetected, and by the time it does, the enemy doesn't even know what hit them, okay? It sinks every ship that gets in your way. I'm leaving you there. Please hit that like and subscribe button, you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you're so awesome. You're so awesome, and thank you for sharing space with me. I appreciate you, really. I really do. And until we meet again, stay wild, stay weird, stay wonderful. Most importantly, stay you. 34 on the clock, y'all. 77. Oh my gosh, earlier it was on the clock for me. 77 is really significant. 14, I'm sorry, I'm going to let y'all go. But 7, like, God is with you times 2. Like your angels, okay, your angels are double backing you up on this journey. double trouble if they mess with their chosen. Mwah.